taking advantage of attribution, basically, I would say that if you're doing, let's say, search find buys, don't use attribution because you just want to use different strategy there. But attribution is really, really great if you are promoting your product or your brand on social media or even with ManyChat or on your email, and you want to track how many people actually buy that product, because sometimes it's confusing. Like, for example, for years, it's been like that. The brands would post their product on a page and they will see that there were some clicks, but they will have no idea how many sales they had. Because I know that in the past, you had to kind of direct the traffic to the store, right, Lazar? And then you could track conversions from there.
Yeah, but still at that option, like if you check analytics and storefront, the only option that you can see is like you see only from that click, you know, like on the store. But like if somebody moved further, you wouldn't be able to see it. It wasn't like a real attribution. On the other hand, when you go to Amazon attribution, you have 14-day window.
Nice.
So everything that made sale is attributed to that during 14 days. And that's kind of tricky when you're an Amazon seller, because you're used to last click conversions, you know, like most of the time when you check your Amazon store. Like I know there are a lot of tools on the market that are like making literally addiction to see like how many sales you made during the day, and like you're checking like every day and so on, and like a couple of times a day. And like attribution is working a bit in a different way. There is time needed for conversion to lay down and to see them in the interface. So that's kind of challenge for a seller to realize that it's not going to affect the account in the same way. But if you're checking your overall sales at the same time as like attribution goes, like, and if you see that there is growth in the other way, like it helps.
Yeah, for sure it helps. And also another benefit of testing attribution for your brand is that it will give you some new pieces of data that you never had before, and you will be able to optimize your listing based on those results that you get. So for example, one of those things is you will see how many people added the product to cart. So you'll basically be able to calculate what's the percentage of people who click on your listing and then they add the product to cart, because you don't get this information in business reports. You don't. You just know how many sessions you had, how many sales you had, just this kind of stuff. But you don't know how many people added the product to cart, which means what's the conversion into the add to cart, and then how many people actually purchased, which is another thing, which is maybe a lot of people for some reason drop off in the cart and they don't end up purchasing your product. So you will just be able to analyze the data, and it will let you improve some things about your product. You will think, do I need to improve that point where people are adding the product to cart somehow, or do I need to improve the point where they actually purchasing the product? So that's a really cool data.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the only place where you can see it. I'm not really sure. So I remember a couple of years ago, you and me were checking like when attribution showed up, like it was 2 years ago in 2018. And like we were checking what kind of links you can build there, and like what kind of stuff you can do, what kind of stuff you can track. And people usually connect attribution to paid traffic, but it doesn't necessarily need to be paid traffic. So you can basically track your links from blog posts as well. Yeah. And that's the interesting thing. Like you can obviously have paid content on some website, like on a news website with your product, and to have a link that has attribution UTM at the end, and you can still track it, which is really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So for example, if right now you're posting pictures of your product every once in a while, like let's say, I don't know, a few times a week, you're posting some information about your product, don't just give the Amazon page link that people just click and go directly to your listing. Add attribution to it, which is pretty easy to set up, and then you'll be able to track what's the return on your social media. Like you're doing social media, you're investing money and well, time, let's say, but sometimes money if you're hiring someone like designer or social media person. What's the actual return from that? That's very good also thing to analyze for your brand.